Is Wendy Williams' dementia diagnosis the truth or just a convenient cover-up? Has Wendy Williams' declining health been caused by her well-documented struggles with addiction and trauma? Or is it her recent dementia diagnosis something more complicated? Wendy's story is one of resilience, but also one of immense personal suffering, something that may have played a larger role in her mental and physical health than many realize. Hey everyone, welcome to Pop Pulse. Today I wanted to talk about what's been going on with Wendy Williams. For months, Wendy has been fighting to regain control of her life, publicly pushing to end her court-ordered guardianship, insisting she is of sound mind and body. But is she really? Or is there more to the story? Let's take a trip down memory lane to uncover the possible reasons behind Wendy's current state. And disclaimer, this video is opinion-based and does not serve as a medical diagnosis of Wendy Williams. Before Wendy became the undisputed queen of radio, she was battling something far darker behind the scenes. A decade-long addiction to cocaine and a heartbreaking struggle with fertility. The pressures of fame weighed heavily on her, compounded by the painful reality that her husband was a serial cheater, and that carrying a pregnancy to term seemed impossible.
Your husband cheated on you.
Yes.
The current husband?
Yes. While I was
still
pregnant.
with him?
Yes.
While you were pregnant,
Yes.
he cheated on you. Why did you take him back?
When my husband cheated on me, and I'm not condoning cheating.
Cheated with a black woman or a white woman?
black woman.
Okay, go ahead.
But what I must say is that, Howard, I was on bed rest and could not have sex during pregnancy. It was
All right.
I had had a layer of miscarriages, 5 months, as a matter of fact, 2 5-month
You're
miscarriages.
saying because your husband couldn't have sex with you, it was okay for him, he got a free pass.
We were also both going through a huge emotional to-do with having this baby. I broadcast, the microphone was on my nightstand, to keep my mind off a possible another miscarriage.
Yes.
I was on bed rest for 9 months. It doesn't give somebody a pass to cheat. I don't want to say that.
Right.
But I will say that...
You understood.
And infidelity doesn't always mean divorce and hate.
Was he just sleeping around, or was he with one woman?
It was one woman.
How did you catch him? How could he have been so dumb to get caught? You're in bed.
You're in bed. You
You're
can't
getting
even get
bed
up.
rest. But you're the easiest broad to cheat on, I would think.
I heard the phone ring,
Go ahead.
and he got up and went into a guest room.
Yes.
And the rest kind of was history.
You picked up the phone to
No,
listen in.
please, who does that? Tiptoe. Houses these days don't creak.
So you tiptoed into the room and listened in, and he was like, baby, don't worry about it.
No, it was actually an argument.
Right.
And, like a fed up, like, bitch, please. Like one of those.
I want to get rid of you.
And you could tell he's arguing with a woman.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And so you confronted him,
Yes.
and he fessed up.
Immediately. I mean, there wasn't, my husband is no bitch ass, but there comes a time when you're
What do you
just
mean your
so-
husband's no bitch ass?
Like, oh, baby, please take me. It's
Right.
not like that.
So look, I cheated. Okay, you caught me.
Right.
I don't want to leave. I still love you.
Right.
Wendy has openly admitted to being a functioning drug user, stating that everyone knew, but because she was always on time and consistently brought in high ratings, no one intervened. She even expressed shock that she survived her addiction, given how deep she was into it.
Some of the things that Whitney and I have in common that bonded us, the love of our mother and father, Whitney and I, same age, and both plagued with the demon of substance abuse. It's been almost 15 years since I smoked last from a crack pipe. It's been almost 15 years since I waited on Jerome Avenue in the Bronx for my drugs.
But ultimately, she made the decision to stop. For one reason, she wanted to become a mother. Unfortunately, that journey was just as painful, marked by multiple miscarriages and stillbirths.
I had 3 miscarriages
before having little Kev. One was 6 months or 6 weeks, 6 or 7 weeks, the Lima-bean, but nevertheless, it hurt. The second one was 5 months. The name was picked out, The nursery was set up. We had purchased clothes. I was out in public. At the time I was on the radio, so I was talking about it on the radio. I had already gained, because I did eat a lot, I gained about 30 pounds in just the 6 months part, and I was on my way. And my water broke, and I went to the hospital, and they hung me upside down in the bed, and the baby died. And it was, then we tried again.
Okay.
And I changed doctors, or I changed status at my doctor's. My folder was red, and I was a high-risk patient. And I wasn't on bed rest, and then I had another 5-month miscarriage. So after 3, at this point, my husband and I were married, but I was ready to divorce him in the name of love. Because I felt there was something wrong with me, and why should I make him suffer? And I tried again because I tried again. We talked about adoption, and he was down with it also. But I tried again because getting pregnant was never my problem, and I had the support of my parents. I also did not go out in public. I was on bed rest, so it was a lot easier when people weren't looking at my stomach or people around saying, "How do you feel? How do you feel?" We did not have sex. Because during that time, because I did not want to do anything to agitate the area, I only stood up for 15 minutes a day. And I had the monitor in the house, and I tried because, like you, I am strong. But like you, we can both be broken down. But like you, I wanted a baby bad. And you will go on and try this again. And you'll take all the precautions that your doctors say, plus more. And our little Kevin now is 9 years old. And I don't want to test the blessing, so we will not be doing that again because I'm a problematic pregnancy. I don't want to test the blessing.
After years of speculation about her husband's infidelity, it was confirmed in 2017 when reports surfaced that her husband, Kevin Hunter, had been carrying on a decade-long affair with his mistress, Sharina Hudson, an affair that ultimately resulted in a child.
Yeah.
Infidelity is one thing. A full baby is a whole nother topic. Okay?
Yeah. I mean, you said in the New York Times Magazine, I'm a very forgiving person, but there's one thing I could never be a part of, and that one thing happened. And that was it.
Yeah.
The baby did it.
A baby. I'm not changing Pampers. I want to be pampered.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Good luck. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Well, why would you have to change the Pampers anyway? It's not
I
your
don't
baby.
know, Joy.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Oh,
You're a comedian.
It's just a joke. Okay.
Look,
I like the joke.
If we don't laugh, then we'll cry.
No, yeah.
So I've learned how to, from my mother, how to make lemons into lemonade in life. I like.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? Stay in the house and cry all day?
Why would you? You have a big career.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you have a life. What I loved about what you said in the New York Times Magazine, though, because I'm a child of divorce, and you said, but I will never speak badly about him in public.
Right.
No.
And my parents never spoke badly about him.
No, I save that for when I get back to my bachelorette pad.
Just a month later, during a live Halloween broadcast, Wendy collapsed on air, officially blamed on dehydration. But many speculated that the mounting stress and emotional turmoil played a much bigger role.
It's time for our How You Doing Halloween costume contest. We do it every year. It's always a lot of fun. Let's get started. Our first caress.
Like, oh my God, I'm hot.
Get some air in here.
Yes. Apparently, I was dehydrated, according to the paramedics. And instead of drinking regular water, I had electrolyte drinks. And then, I went to my own doctors, and I'm fine, including blood work.
Well, it's pretty incredible because you jumped back up, came back out here, and finished the show.
Yeah.
By 2019, the cracks in her carefully curated persona were impossible to ignore. Rumors swirled that Wendy was living in a sober house, struggling to maintain her sobriety while dealing with the collapse of her marriage. In March of that year, she confirmed the rumors. She had relapsed and was seeking help.
Well, for some time now, and even today and beyond, I have been living in a sober house. When you see me come to work, glammed up, right after the show,
I go across the street, I do my Pilates. I told you 2 hours a day, I like to take care of my body. And you know, I've had a struggle with cocaine in my past, and I never went to a place to get the treatment. I don't know how, except God was sitting on my shoulder and I just stopped. But there are people in your family, it might be you, who've been struggling, and I wanted to know more of the story. So this is my autobiographical story, and I'm living it, and I'm telling you this. After I go to the Pilates, I go to several meetings all around town in the tri-state area, and I see my brothers and sisters caught up in their addiction and looking for help. They don't know I'm Wendy. They don't care I'm Wendy. There's no autographs, there's no nothing. It's the brothers and sisters caught up in the struggle, and it's been really interesting, this ride. Only Kevin and Kevin have known about this.
The following month, she filed for divorce, ending her 22-year marriage. But the hardships didn't stop there. In late 2020, Wendy revealed on her talk show that her mother had passed away, a devastating blow on top of the emotional turmoil she was already facing. It was clear that all of these back-to-back traumas were taking a toll.
Attention to all of my bosses. I am wearing very long shorts underneath. It's just that in the name of my mother, because my mother, she's like, Wendy, you got them, they're long, you show them. She also talked me into picking out this outfit today. She's also died. Yeah. My mom passed away many weeks ago. You know how during Corona, during the world topsy-turvy, people starving, people out of jobs, it was a long time ago. And me and the five of us, mom, dad, my siblings and me, the five of us, because she'll always be here. She's squawking at me right now. She's pissed because I requested confetti cannon because that's what she wanted. Anyway, my mom and I, our relationship became closer and closer once I went away to college, you know, could escape, you know, Jersey. And it became closer and closer and closer to the point where, first of all, she passed away beautiful and peacefully and surrounded by love. And she didn't suffer, not one bit, thank goodness.
By 2020, things spiraled further out of control. Wells Fargo froze Wendy's bank accounts, citing concern over her mental health, and pushed for a court-ordered guardianship. Wendy fired back, claiming her former manager and financial advisor were trying to steal her money. Despite her protest, the court appointed Sabrina Morrissey as her temporary guardian. Amid this chaos, Wendy's long-running talk show was canceled, officially ending an era.
My thing is that I've been asking questions about my money. And when I began asking questions about my money, suddenly Lori Schiller has got no response regarding my money. I want my money. This is not fair. And Wells Fargo has no questions and answers with regarding my money. This is not fair. And Lori Schiller and Wells Fargo have this guardianship petition about keeping me away from my money. This is not right. And you know this is not fair. And this guy named Bernie Young, I know for a fact that Bernie Young used my American Express card to hire an attorney to file a petition against me. That was done with my American Express card. Bernie Young, you're no good. And this is not fair at all, you know? And then there's this person, a former doctor, okay, had medical information about me that I never even got. It was sent over to Lori Schiller. So I haven't gotten the stuff. I fired the doctor. And again, all I want to know is, where is my money? This is not right. And certainly, this is not fair. This is not fair. You know? Wells Fargo has used all this stuff to create the guardianship over me. This is not right. And certainly this is not fair. The New York court system is, without evidence, they're being weird to me, this court system. Without evidence, they took all this information and continued with what's going on with me based on what Wells Fargo is doing. This is not fair. This is not fair, you know? And the New York court is treating me like they did in, do you remember Kung Fu judge case? Do you remember that Kung Fu judge case? That's not right, and that is not fair. Lori Schiller, Bernie Young, and Wells Fargo. Please let me have access to my money. This is not right. And again, this is not fair.
In early 2024, a documentary aired revealing an unfiltered look at Wendy's current state: incoherent, struggling, and reportedly abusing alcohol. Shortly after, her team announced that Wendy had been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia and aphasia, a progressive disease that affects speech and cognition. For fans, it was heartbreaking to see such a legendary figure fade before our eyes. Many wondered, was this truly dementia, or had years of addiction, heartbreak, and stress finally taken their toll?
This is my third time crying. And I cried the other day. I will smoke when I smoke, and I will liquor when I liquor.
Wendy, would you want to go to the Oscars?
What's Oscars?
In the documentary, it was revealed that she has dementia.
So I think they said it was alcohol-induced dementia.
Look, even when I do this, do you see a thigh gap?
Now in 2025, Wendy is making headlines once more, this time pushing back against her guardianship, insisting she is not incapacitated and demanding her freedom. But as we listen to her statements, one thing stands out. There's a pattern in the way Wendy speaks. She starts to express herself only to have someone else step in and take over. In January, Wendy Williams called into the Breakfast Club describing her guardianship as a prison, claiming she had no access to her money, was cut off from her family, and was not cognitively impaired, as people suggested.
Hi, Charlamagne.
Peace, Wendy. And Wendy's niece, Alex, is on as well. Alex, you're going to be talking too, right?
Hey, Alex.
That's my niece, Alex. That's my niece, Alex. And Charlamagne and I, by the way, have known each other for like 20 years and running.
That is very true.
Wow.
Well, first of all, to start with, my niece Alex knows a lot as well, you know, but I am not cognitively impaired, you know what I'm saying? No, but I feel like I am in prison. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like I'm in New York City, right? And by the way, my apartment has been sold, thank God, you know, a while ago. But I'm in this place where the people are in their 90s and their 80s and their 70s, and even when people are 60 like me, hey, I'm sexy and gorgeous.
That's
you know,
right.
I am 60. Look, please, July 18th, 1964, honey. But look, these people, I don't care if they're 50 and 60. They have, look, there's something wrong with these people here on this floor. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I'm not saying something bad. I'm just saying that I am with these people. I am clearly not.
Sabrina Morrissey is her name, and right now A&E Network, A&E Network and Lifetime were sued by Sabrina. She claims they exploited you in a vulnerable state. They exploited your condition, and I'm putting condition in air quotes. You signed to do that documentary without your consent, but A&E and Lifetime countersued and said that Sabrina realized the documentary would question the quality of her own guardianship. It actually says in the lawsuit, it appears that Morrissey is misusing her position as a guardian of Williams to silence criticism of her controversial and failed administration of the guardianship. They even used the words guardianship abuse. What do you think of that?
And what do I think about being abused? Listen, look, this system is broken. You know, that this system that I'm in, this system has falsified a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Your dad's going to be 94 next month, right?
Listen, my dad
that's a whole nother conversation.
94, that's a whole nother thing. Like, I don't know whether I'm allowed to fly to Miami to say happy birthday to my dad, to get him. I want to get him. Look. Well, that person that you talk about who's holding me hostage.
Sabrina Morrissey, your guardian. We got to say her name. We got to put her name out there. Sabrina Morrissey, her guardian.
I don't know that she's going to let me, because she already said to see my dad for his birthday. He's going to be 94. So, and all I can, look.
Shortly after, TMZ released an interview where Wendy doubled down, denying memory loss and alleging that her Wells Fargo's account freeze was a real reason why she was placed in an assisted living facility. She even pointed the finger at her son, claiming he was the one who set the guardianship in motion. But was this truly an injustice, or was it a harsh but necessary intervention?
Tell me what your life has been like over the past year. What is it like?
Isolated, well, you see where I am, right? Where I am is this place where the people are older, you know what I'm saying? They are in their 90s and their 80s. They call this the memory unit. I am part of the memory unit. A memory unit, in other words, what? Somebody who doesn't remember crap? Are you serious? This is my life. You know what I'm saying? The memory unit is suffocating. I mean, like, I eat lunch and dinner in my bedroom. I don't eat out there with the people that live here just because it's so goddamn depressing.
Can you talk to me about how Wendy ended up in a guardianship?
My understanding is somebody was in her bank account that Wells Fargo flagged, and there was large withdrawals being taken out.
My son, he overstepped his boundaries in terms of me. You understand? He overstepped his boundaries, and he was inappropriately using my money without telling me crap about it. Like, is he stealing from me? Look, all I know is that in terms of what I'm dealing with, and that this is still going on, because, that's when my money got frozen at Wells Fargo. Thank God. No more money stealing from my son and the other people.
It seems as if they weren't able to get in contact with Wendy, so Wells Fargo pursued guardianship.
Then came March 10th when Wendy made headlines yet again. Outside her assisted living facility, she did something shocking. She threw a handwritten note to nearby paparazzi with a chilling message: "Help Wendy." The NYPD was called for a wellness check, and Wendy was transported to a hospital for a mental evaluation. According to reports from major outlets like TMZ, doctors who conducted the test stated that she passed with flying colors, suggesting she was mentally competent. But her court-appointed guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, was quick to challenge those claims, saying that the tests Wendy took were basic and failed to assess deeper cognitive issues, leaving her diagnosis in question. In the days that followed, Wendy continued to speak out. She returned to the Breakfast Club and appeared on Good Day New York alongside her friend Rosanna Scotto to recount what had transpired on March 10th.
Well, the police showed up, and I'm exhausted, you know what I'm saying? I am exhausted, and I wanted to go to the hospital to talk to the doctor, Gina, you can expound upon that a bit, please.
So
We were actually trying to figure out how to kind of break through and get some kind of motion into this case, because we were pretty stuck at one point waiting for the lawyers to get through and get some type of trial. So I did two things. I wrote a letter to the Adult Protective Services explaining to them Wendy's situation. She was isolated and we needed an investigation. Yesterday morning, during our morning calls, I told Wendy we will be calling the police. And we will be speaking to police and we will be telling them that you are isolated.
Listen,
and we need some help.
So two police showed up, you know, where I was, you know, at the coterie, and so I was telling them, you know, the same. And the next thing you know, there are two more police, so there are four in total. And I was talking with Gina, you know, and saying, "Go ahead, Gina."
Yep, and the police came into the room. Wendy gave me the phone, and I pleaded with the police as if Wendy was my child. Please, you need to get her off this floor.
And listen,
she is confined.
I told them I am not incapacitated, you know, as I've been accused.
I have Wendy on the line. It's Gina Lisa.
Hi, Gina. Hi, Wendy.
Hello. Hold on. Let me connect you.
Okay. Hey, you know.
Rosanna.
Hey, Wendy. Wendy.
Rosanna.
Yes. Tell me how you're doing.
Well, are we on TV?
Yes, we're on TV.
Oh my gosh. Hi.
Hi.
So I'm on the phone with my friend Gina.
Good morning.
Good morning, Gina. So, Wendy, yesterday, the last we saw, you were leaving with police officers going to the hospital.
Right. I'm currently at the hospital.
You're currently at the hospital. What's going on there today?
Well, Gina is more, Gina can elaborate on everything, and I'll just co-sign. Go ahead.
Okay, Gina, Wendy had those tests yesterday, right?
Correct. She had those tests. She's been deemed she is not incapacitated.
A test with flying colors.
I know.
And you know, I think it's great news. And it's public, and everybody knows, you know, factually that Wendy's not incapacitated.
But then just 2 days later, another shocking incident occurred. Sabrina Morrissey called the police, alleging that Wendy had been kidnapped by her niece, Alex Finney. Hours later, news outlets caught up with Wendy and her niece outside the facility, where Wendy appeared a bit disoriented but insisted that she was fine.
So, our recent events have been unbelievable. Talk about
We came back from dinner, and apparently police were called. But I was told that at some point, police were called because the coterie here was saying allegedly that I took my aunt from this facility and whisked her away without any sort of confirmation or approval, which according to everything that we have learned in terms of this whole situation, wondering exactly how that correlates with the statements that the guardian has made that Wendy is able to come and go as she pleases,
right,
and that there are no family visits that are blocked.
Clearly, they are lying to me when they say I can go out and do what I want to do. This is my niece, Alex. She just flew in from Miami, okay? I just came from the hospital. So we are going out to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Celebrate what? I don't know. I'm from the hospital. You know what I'm saying? And of life. Right. And this is what has been done to us.
But we're good. We're back.
We're good.
We're back
in
one piece.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good night.
With so many conflicting reports, one question remains. What is truly happening to Wendy Williams? Is this the early stages of frontotemporal dementia, as her team has claimed? Or is this something else, a mental breakdown years in the making? From my perspective, it's clear that something is deeply wrong with Wendy, whether it's dementia, the long-term effects of addiction, or something else entirely. One thing is certain, she needs help. I just hope that in the end, her family and the New York courts can come together to ensure she receives the proper care and support that she deserves. What do you think? Is Wendy a victim of wrongful guardianship, or is she truly incapable of caring for herself?